Do you often find yourself wide awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, wishing for just a few more hours of peaceful sleep? You're not alone. So many wonderful folks like you, who have lived full lives, suddenly find their nights are being cut short, leaving them tired and often frustrated the next day. It's a painful reality, isn't it? That feeling of exhaustion that just won't quit, impacting everything from your memory to your mood, making even simple tasks feel like a struggle. You might think it's just a part of getting older, something you have to accept, but I'm here to tell you that's not entirely true. There's a secret to reclaiming those precious hours of slumber, and it's not as complicated as you might imagine. In this video, we're going to gently explore some key reasons why this early waking happens and, more importantly, discover simple, gentle habits and adjustments that can truly make a difference, helping you sleep more soundly through the night. Stay with me right to the very end, because there's something waiting for you that might just completely surprise you. Now, let's gently dive into the very first piece of this puzzle. And it has everything to do with something called your circadian rhythm, that inner clock that tells your body when to be awake and when to be sleepy. You see, as we age, this internal clock naturally shifts a little. Our bodies produce less melatonin, that wonderful sleep hormone, and our sleep architecture changes, meaning we spend less time in those deep, restorative sleep stages. What often happens is that our body starts to think it's time to wake up earlier than it used to, sometimes right around that infamous 3 a.m. mark. It's not your fault. It's just your body doing its natural thing. But we can nudge it back towards a more helpful schedule. The key here, and it might sound too simple to be true, is incredible consistency. Our bodies thrive on routine. Think about it. For decades, you likely had a fairly consistent wake-up time because of work or responsibilities. Now that some of those structures might have changed, it's easy for our sleep schedule to drift. So, the first powerful habit we can cultivate is to aim for a consistent bedtime and, more importantly, a consistent wake-up time, 7 days a week, even on weekends. Yes, even on Saturdays and Sundays. Our bodies don't know it's the weekend. They just know routine. Imagine setting your alarm for the same time every morning, whether it's 6 a.m. or 7 a.m., and sticking to it. Even if you didn't sleep perfectly, getting up at that consistent time helps to reinforce your body's natural rhythm. It tells your internal clock, okay, this is when we start the day. And speaking of starting the day, the very first thing you do in the morning can profoundly impact your night. We're talking about natural light exposure. Our eyes, even through closed eyelids, register the presence of light. And this is a crucial signal to our brain that it's morning. It helps suppress melatonin production and kickstart our wakefulness hormones. So, as soon as you can after waking, open those curtains wide. Step outside for a few minutes if the weather permits, or simply sit by a window with a cup of tea. Even on cloudy days, the natural light is far more powerful than any indoor lighting for setting your body's clock. This simple act of morning light exposure sends a strong message to your brain, essentially saying, it's daytime now, let's keep things moving, and then later, when it gets dark, we'll be ready for sleep. It's about building a strong contrast between your day and your night, helping your body understand the difference and prepare for proper rest when darkness falls. This leads us beautifully into the next crucial habit, which focuses on your evening routine and the kind of light you expose yourself to as the day winds down. Just as morning light is vital for waking up, avoiding certain types of light in the evening is essential for preparing for sleep. We're talking about blue light, which comes from our beloved screens, smartphones, tablets, computers, and even many televisions. This blue light, while great for keeping us alert during the day, can trick our brains into thinking it's still daytime, suppressing that vital melatonin production just when we need it most. So, about an hour or two before you plan to go to bed, start dimming the lights around your home. Create a cozy twilight atmosphere. If you enjoy reading in bed, consider a physical book or an e-reader that doesn't emit blue light. This transition period, this winding down, signals to your body that night is approaching and it's time to get ready for rest. It's like gently telling your brain, okay, the show is over. Time to prepare for slumber. No beyond light. Consider the activities you engage in during those crucial hours before bed. Are you watching a thrilling crime drama? Engaging in heated political discussions online? Or perhaps balancing your checkbook? Highly stimulating activities like these can raise your heart rate and keep your mind racing, making it incredibly difficult to switch off when your head hits the pillow. Instead, embrace more calming, soothing rituals. Perhaps a warm bath or shower. A few gentle stretching exercises to release any tension from the day. Listening to some calming music or a gentle podcast. Or even just sitting quietly and reflecting on the good things that happened that day. Imagine a gentle transition, like slowing a train down as it approaches the station. You wouldn't suddenly slam on the brakes. Would you likewise? Your brain needs a gradual deceleration. This isn't about rigid rules, but about creating a peaceful, consistent routine that your body comes to associate with sleep. It's about nurturing yourself, giving your mind and body the clear signals they need to shift from an active state to a restful one. And remember, these aren't just isolated tips. They weave together, creating a tapestry of habits that support your sleep in a holistic way. Building on that idea of preparing your body for rest, let's shift our focus to what we put into our bodies, especially in the hours leading up to bedtime. Our diet and evening eating habits play a much bigger role in our sleep than many of us realize. Think about it. In the Undesandesire, Handi, Hembauvaksh, Indi, rich or spicy meal close to bedtime can make your digestive system work overtime, which isn't exactly conducive to a peaceful night's rest. Your body is busy breaking down food instead of winding down. So, a wonderfully helpful habit is to aim for a lighter dinner and try to finish eating at least 2 to 3 hours before you plan to go to sleep. This gives your digestive system ample time to do its work without interfering with your body's natural desire to slow down. And then there's the notorious duo caffeine and alcohol. Most of us know that a cup of coffee late in the afternoon can keep us wired. But did you know that caffeine can linger in your system for many hours for some people? Caffeine consumed even 6 hours before bedtime can significantly disrupt sleep. So, consider cutting off caffeine, including tea, cola, and even some dark chocolates. By early afternoon, perhaps no later than 2 p.m. Experiment with what works for you, but generally, the earlier, the better. Alcohol, on the other hand, might seem like it helps you fall asleep faster because it's a sedative, but it actually fragments your sleep later in the night, often leading to those frustrating early morning awakenings. It suppresses REM sleep, which is that deeply restorative dream stage, and as its effects wear off, you're more likely to wake up, often feeling dehydrated and restless. So, if you enjoy a drink, try to have it earlier in the evening and in moderation, or consider cutting it out entirely for a few weeks to see how your sleep improves. Instead, if you feel peckish before bed, opt for a small, sleep-friendly snack like a banana, a small handful of almonds, or a glass of tart cherry juice, which contains natural melatonin. These little changes can make a surprisingly big difference. Now, let's talk about something that seems counterintuitive, but is incredibly important for good sleep: how active you are during the day. It might sound strange, but too little daytime activity can actually make it harder to sleep well at night. Our bodies are designed to move, and regular physical activity helps build up sleep pressure, making us feel genuinely tired by the end of the day. Moderate exercise, like a brisk walk, gentle swimming, or even gardening, can significantly improve sleep quality and duration. It doesn't have to be strenuous. The key is consistency. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate activity most days of the week. However, timing is key here too. Exercising too close to bedtime can actually be stimulating and keep you awake, as it raises your body temperature and heart rate. So, try to get your physical activity done earlier in the day, ideally no later than late afternoon. A morning or early afternoon walk is perfect for this. And while we're on the topic of daytime activity, let's address the tricky subject of naps. For some, a short nap can be a wonderful way to recharge. For others, particularly those struggling with early morning awakenings. Naps can be a hidden culprit. If you find yourself waking up at 3 a.m. consistently, long or late afternoon, naps might be stealing from your sleep bank at night. If you absolutely need a nap, try to keep it short, no more than 20 to 30 minutes, and make sure it's in the early afternoon. Well, before dinner. This way, you get a little boost without significantly impacting your body's drive for a full night's sleep. It's all about finding that balance and understanding how your unique body responds. Every small adjustment, whether it's what you eat, when you move, or even when you rest, builds towards that goal of a truly restful night. Remember, it's not about perfection, but about consistent, gentle efforts. Finally, we come to perhaps one of the biggest silent culprits behind those 3 a.m. awakenings: our minds. Stress, worry, and anxiety can keep our brains buzzing long after we want them to quiet down. And it seems that often, when the world is quietest in the middle of the night, those thoughts decide to make their grand appearance. If you find your mind racing with worries about finances, family, health, or even just the day's to-do list, it's incredibly difficult for your body to relax into a deep sleep. So, one of the most powerful habits you can cultivate is managing stress and anxiety. Particularly in the evening, this isn't about eliminating stress entirely. That's nearly impossible. But about developing tools to process it so it doesn't hijack your sleep. One very effective technique is to designate a worry time earlier in the day. This could be 15-20 minutes in the late afternoon or early evening where you sit down with a notebook and simply write down everything that's on your mind. Don't censor yourself, just get it all out. This act of transferring thoughts from your head to paper can be incredibly freeing. Once your worry time is over, consciously close the notebook and tell yourself you've dealt with those thoughts for the day. This gives your brain permission to let go when you head to bed. Another powerful tool is mindfulness and relaxation techniques. Simple, deep breathing exercises can work wonders. Try inhaling slowly through your nose to the count of 4, holding your breath for a count of 7, and then exhaling slowly through your mouth to the count of 8. Repeat this a few times. This simple pattern can activate your body's relaxation response. Progressive muscle relaxation, where you systematically tense and then release different muscle groups throughout your body, can also help melt away physical tension that might be keeping you restless. It's about creating a mental space that feels safe and calm as you approach bedtime. If you wake up at 3 a.m. and your mind starts racing, resist the urge to immediately grab your phone or dwell on the worries. Instead, try one of these breathing exercises, or gently remind yourself that it's not the time to solve problems, and you can address them in the morning. If you find yourself unable to fall back asleep after about 20 minutes, it's often more helpful to get out of bed for a few minutes. Go to another room, sit in a dimly lit space, and do something calm and non-stimulating, like reading a physical book not on a screen or listening to quiet, soothing music. Only return to bed when you genuinely feel sleepy again. This helps to break the association between your bed and wakefulness or frustration. Remember, your bedroom should be a sanctuary for sleep and intimacy, not a place for problem solving or worrying. So, let's gently bring all these wonderful pieces together. We've talked about nudging your internal clock with consistent wake-up times and morning light, creating a peaceful evening routine by dimming lights and avoiding stimulating activities, nourishing your body with lighter dinners and being mindful of caffeine and alcohol, embracing gentle daytime activity while being smart about naps, and finally, taming that busy mind through worry time and relaxation. It's not about doing everything perfectly all at once. That would be overwhelming instead. Think of these as gentle invitations, little experiments you can try to see what resonates with you and your body. Maybe you start with just one new habit, like a consistent wake-up time. And once that feels comfortable, you add another. Remember, small, consistent changes can truly make an astonishing difference to your health and happiness, especially when it comes to something as fundamental as your sleep. You've accumulated so much wisdom and experience throughout your life. And now it's time to apply some of that gentle self-care to reclaim your nights. We'd absolutely love to hear from you. Have you tried any of these tips? Or do you have a secret to great sleep that you'd like to share? Please leave your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could help someone else tremendously. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And consider subscribing to our channel for more practical, encouraging content designed to help you live your best life at every age. You deserve to feel rested, vibrant, and full of energy every single day. Keep embracing these possibilities because you are capable of truly profound changes. And a good night's sleep is well within your reach.